everybody. Good morning. I wanted to hop on here because one, it has been too many weeks since I have done a video, but two, this time of year we have a lot of people looking to buy land, farmland, lake land. The lake acreage here is a whole different video, and it's what it says you have on a deed may not be what you have, and we'll go into that in a different video. Right now, living in East Tennessee, whether you're in a subdivision and moving to land or you are buying for the first time here, you need to understand what unrestricted land means. The reason I say that is because a lot of people want to move here or want to leave wherever they live here and move to unrestricted land without fully understanding what that means. We do have some unrestricted counties here, but you could buy a piece of property and not know, if your agent doesn't know to check the deed and you don't disclose what you need the land for, there might be a restriction on the deed that says no mobile homes. It might say your home can't be older than 2 years old, like a mobile home. It might say it has to be at least so wide. It might say it has to be so many square feet. It might say you can't have chickens or pigs. There are a variety of things. When, say, Papa John subdivided his farm 100 years ago, John might have decided, I don't want somebody to subdivide my land lower than so many acres. Or if they do, I don't want any cars sitting on that lot that are not licensed, or junk cars, or I don't want any pig farms down the road from me. He could have decided whatever he wanted and put that on the deed. So even though you might be in an unrestricted county, you could still have a restriction on your deed. With that said, there are deeds that are truly unrestricted, but you live in a county that you think is unrestricted but still has zoning. So say you want to pop up a garage in the back and you want to sell cars out of it, or you want to fix cars out of it, or you want to have a welding shop out of it. That's not always allowed either. Or you want to put up a few camper spots, or have a short-term rental in your little shed out back, or your second dwelling, whatever it is. The county might say it's unrestricted, but it has zoning laws that doesn't allow for home businesses, or doesn't allow for nightly rentals, or doesn't allow for campgrounds beside certain lots. Or maybe you live in a county that you must have at least 5 acres for a campground. There are so many things that I don't even know all of them. Some agents know none of them. And you guys have to be really careful that you always disclose what you're doing when you buy your land to your agent. And please, if you are going to buy for sale by owner from somebody, do not take their word that it's unrestricted. Go to the county, pull the deed, ask zoning, ask everyone what the rules are for that piece of land. So you do not spend money on land that you cannot use. And get a perk test. Or if you want to subdivide, say you want to put 3 families on it, we have a 50-foot per home minimum rule around here. So in addition to each home having to have 50 feet of road frontage, you also have so many feet for each lot. If it has to have septic, you have to have room for the field lines. There are so many things you have to take into consideration. Now, if it can hook up to city sewer, that's so many feet by so many feet, at least an acre, at least 2, whatever it might be, won't apply if you can hook up to city sewer. But if you're going to have septic, and you have to have those field lines, obviously, you have to have room for it. So don't think you're going to buy a family compound and you have a 100-foot road frontage and you're going to put 3 or 4 homes there. You can't. They don't want you to be landlocked here, so it is very important that they make sure when a home is surveyed out, it has enough road frontage. And it can't be 50 here and narrow down and then open back up. It has to be at least 50 all the way back, and then it can open up to a larger spot. That is something to always take into consideration. Now, with that said, I've also ran into people who thought they would do this with their land or that with their land, and they didn't disclose it to their agent. I have somebody who's wanting me to sell their land right now, and they asked me to do it instead of their last agent because what they wanted to use their land for, they couldn't, and their agent told them they could. If you don't know what land could be used for, whether you're an agent or whether you're a buyer, call zoning. Make sure you pull the deed. Always ask your agent to pull the deed. And when you put in an offer, whatever you need it for, put it in stipulations. This offer is contingent on this land being unrestricted, or being able to put a mobile home on it, or whatever it is you need it for, put that in the offer and let title do the search to make sure you can use it for what you want to use it for and you're not buying something that you can't use. I think it is really important that you're just truly transparent with your agent so they can really help guide you to the correct people. They can help make any decisions or narrow down anything you need to pay attention to. If you need a well, there's really just so many things to take into consideration that I think a lot of people don't realize. Anyways, unrestricted isn't always truly unrestricted. That was the point of this video. I want you guys to make sure you do your due diligence. You always disclose what you need your land for. A lot of people want to buy land around here for a campground. Jefferson County in particular is very picky about that and what regulations you have to have. Like Granger County, you have to have at least 5 acres now to have a campground. So different counties have different rules. Hamlin County, you can't live in a camper, even wherever. Most counties you can't live in a camper unless you have a building permit, and then you can live in it for 2 years while you build, unless the deed says otherwise. The deed might say you have 12 months to build. I've seen that happen too. So, and some may not allow you to live in a camper while you build, So there are just so many things you really have to take into consideration when you're buying, when you want to subdivide, when you want a campground, when you want a farm, when you want chickens, when you want livestock. I have several developers who I was very fortunate enough in the beginning to who came to me and wanted to buy a farm I had, and my farmer seller did not want to sell to a developer, even though it was a developer who sells in larger tracts. And I've learned a lot from him. I kind of clung on to him from the beginning, and I have learned a lot from him, and he has been an amazing resource, and I'm so grateful for my family and friends who have commercial property who've taught me so much, and my developers who've taught me so much, and residential people and land people. Now, if you want to get a piece of property and you want to survey it and split it up between family, and you do at least 5 acres per parcel, you have way less hoops to jump through. That doesn't even have to be approved by planning in most counties. So that's something you can survey out and say, surely there's something that's going to perk on each lot if they have at least 5 acres, depending on the area you're in. But that is so much to take in. So I'll just leave you with that. Make sure unrestricted is really unrestricted. Make sure you know what the deed says. Make sure you know what the county says. Make sure you disclose what you want the land for, because even though you think it's your land and you should be able to do what you want, apparently the local government doesn't think so. So with that said, I hope everybody has a beautiful week. It is Monday. We just finished up Father's Day yesterday. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments or shoot me a text. I'd love to help you sell or buy or whatever it is you're looking to do. If you don't already know, I'm Tuesdee Davis with Tennessee Tuesdee Real Estate. And I'll leave my number at the end of this clip. So, guys, give me a shout if you need anything. I hope you have a great day.